me now? See, this is good things that I don't think I'm muted. You can hear me now. Did I turn it up enough? Still figuring all this out. There's like lots of things. I'm not good at it. I can turn it up even more. Yay! Oh, hey, I can hear me now. I hope that wasn't a loud laugh. Thank you. My girl does my hair, Anna. I trade her for coaching. Blessed I get to do that. Yeah, thank you. Look at, I have 2 people in here. Look at me, I'm live. Look, Mom, I'm live. So, man boobs, huh? We could talk about that. I know a few examples. You know what I wish they had was like, this is going to sound sad, a face filter to make me look just 20. Wilson's telling everyone I'm live. I did get a giant ass ring light. Can you tell? It's like the sun. I can change the settings, but I don't know how to yet. So we'll figure all that out. But I got the Loom Cube. Things. I turned it on for the first time, and it was insane. I turned it on at like 4 a.m. so there was no other light, and it lit up my entire house. It was crazy. I hope so. I hope it makes me look 20 years younger. Freaking Nove doesn't think I'm 40, but there's wrinkles and yeah. But I'm sure there's a filter, just to smooth out would be nice. Would be nice. Yeah. I have a feeling we're not going to talk about any hormones. We're just going to talk about things. But Nat, where's your friend? She in here? Pineapple's in here. Yeah. Pineapple, you're so cute. Yeah. Yeah, where's your friends? Well, 3 people. Does anybody have any hormone questions? Just kidding. Hey, how come it's not giving you guys like top fan crowns? You guys should all have a crown because there's 3, right? We should get you guys some crowns somehow. Beetle! Hey, these don't look like your Beatleistic headphones, but I'm glad you're here. Aw. Oh, yeah. It's got a little button up here. I'm still getting used to all this stuff. Dude, Streamlabs, it says it's user-friendly. I about went cross-eyed yesterday trying to figure this out, and then it told me that I had to wait 24 hours before I streamed, which luckily I started the test run at 3:55. So this is the first time I've tested really anything 5 minutes ago. So, Mo, hey. Mo, please refrain from spamming the chat. I need to figure out Wow, that's the first time Streamlabs came in. Actually, I made a bot. Her name is Sassy Sassy or something like that. I don't know. It won't let me use it. I got to figure out how to get it to make that the person, not Streamlabs or Nightbot or whatever. But I'm gonna figure it out. So I did set up Streamlabs, kinda. I've considered an overlay because I do want to show graphs on here, like especially like today if we end up talking about anything. It might have to be a part 1 and 2, but cortisol. So a cortisol curve I want to be able to show that. So Streamlabs will help me kind of put that out there. I put you in time. Streamlabs is feisty. I don't know how to. Mo, can I make you a mod? I can put you in timeout though. Oh, look it. Watch this. Watch this. Mo, type something. Everyone check out Mo's name. You should all be mods. Yes. Oh, hey. So Joshua, that's my husband. That's Mr. Mustard. So everyone say hi to Mr. Mustard. He's watching with the kids at home. He's got all 3,956 kids at home, according to some people that I guess me and Carly have a gazillion children. But that's because we have good hormones and we don't have man boobs. So, you know, we have children, lots of them. Brian, I know you. Yep, you're Mr. Mustard. Yep. Okay, Mo, so you're officially a mod. I expect you to not chat in any other chat rooms. You are specifically dedicated to this chat only. I don't want to see you anywhere else. I am not going to pay you. I am not going to thank you. Yeah. I'm going to tight ship here. No links in the chat. Wilson, you're next. And you can have opinions, by the way. No paying that we don't pay or thank our plugs here at all. Although I do want to do funny fitness stories. So, or even I don't want to step into the true crime era realm because I support a lot of true crime creators and I want to respect that. That was actually something I was very nervous about. Starting a YouTube channel was I don't want people to think I'm trying to self-promote or anything, but I felt like this was hey, it's Mark. I felt like this was a good thing, a good need. Wow, yeah. So I look like I have giant ears. True crime is true. I love true crime though. It gets me through the day and it keeps me in school. But anyway, so about hormones, if we do get to that, yeah, I want to be able to show you the cortisol curves. I want to be able to show you how hormones break down, why you might be having issues with your hormones, why they might be off. If I'm not mistaken, that username will have a check mark next to it. Will it? Interesting. Yeah, hormones. So hormones are good. Cortisol is actually good. Cortisol is actually anti-inflammatory. People think it's inflammatory, it's anti-inflammatory. But too much of it creates issues. So, at 100 subs. Okay, 100,000. Well, we're 9,000. Whatever, I need a calculator. Forget it. -9. I don't know. I think I have 15 subscribers right now. Not too bad for not ever having an episode. My mom might be 4 of those subs. But I do. So this time I just streamed, not Streamlabs, because I wanted to be on time. I am very big about being on time, but then I saw no one was waiting. So then I thought, well, I'll be not on time and look cool coming in hot late, but yeah, so I like to be on time. I didn't do the kitty coo. Hi. Oh, my friends are here. So Mr. Mustard, these are all the people I talk to. These are my friends. Okay. But yeah, so I want to be able to show you all that. Streamlabs does that for me where I can overlay, I can show you my screen, all that fun stuff. But I did not want to start way super late trying to add that in. So it just wasn't going to work. Mo, you'll like Mr. Mustard. You'll like Mr. Mustard. I said it wrong on the stream. What? You said her name. Oh, Kitty Coo. Oh, man. I think because I say it out loud at home, I'll go, oh, Carly, or oh, Wilson. And my kids will go, is that the Pursuit Queens? I love this chat. See, now this is the best chat. This is like Discord on steroids, right? Yeah. But I think I will do a part 2. Just kind of make this maybe an introductory thing to some man boobs, right? Some muffin tops. And then I'll do a more in-depth episode next, probably, where we actually show you the graphs so you can really see. Sometimes that visualization really helps. I know for me it did. You can see your cortisol, how it should look when it peaks in the morning. Does anybody know when cortisol peaks for you? Anybody? I'll give you a free membership. Just kidding. They're free right now anyway. Anyone? I wonder if my lag is on here. No, not at night. It shouldn't at night. Cortisol actually prevents melatonin buildup. So when do you want it to peak? Should it naturally peak? In the morning. Mm-hmm. After coffee. It does peak with exercise. It does. So in fact, this is funny. Your body has the same physical response to a good workout as it would running from a bear. So, yeah, you might as well run from some bears when the sun rises. So that's when it starts to peak. Around 10 a.m. is actually when it starts to hit its highest, and then it will dip down, and it should hit its lowest. Does anybody know what time it should dip its lowest? I might have kind of given away the answer in a way, because it should be a very even curve. I just hit the mic. I don't know if that's something. The bear's gonna get me. 8 p.m. 10 p.m. Pineapple, you so cute. I'm gonna say that forever now. Yeah. 10 p.m. Yep. So 10 a.m. it peaks. 10 p.m. it should go down, and that's when melatonin should build up. So if you're finding that you're having a hard time sleeping, you may want to get your cortisol checked. You might have so one of the things when I was, I had Kaylin, right? And I had postpartum and my hormones were all messed up. I was on birth control when I got pregnant with her, which I think really messed up my hormones. And then when you deliver your baby, your hormones go literally, they're way up here, and then they crash pretty much the moment that you deliver, when the placenta is delivered. So your hormones go down to that of like a menopausal woman. And then everything has to come back online. Your hormones have to come back online. Your immune system has to come back online, because part of that shuts down so that you don't kill your baby, which is good. But you have so many things that you have to get back functioning while you're taking care of a newborn, while you're probably on the worst diet you've ever had, which is a big factor into how stress affects your hormones. Is it pulls micronutrients from your body, which makes you deficient in a lot of things. But I had no sex drive. My thyroid was getting taxed really bad. And I could not work out past 12 p.m. That was my rule of thumb. I turned into like Cinderella, and boom, I would not let myself work out past 12 so that I could get my cortisol levels to dip at night. It was literally, I could stay up all day long. I could stay up all through the night and sleep for maybe 2 hours and then wake up ready to go. Usually signs that that's starting to happen is you'll be wired when you should be tired, and you'll be tired when you should be wired. So it'll be flopped. You'll feel really tired in the morning when you wake up, even though it's time to kind of get ready to go. And then at the end of the day, you just have still all this energy because your body is constantly spitting out cortisol. Well, then that prevents melatonin buildup, which doesn't let you sleep. But also then this high level of cortisol being spit out will then tax your adrenals, which then causes a lot of issues. So Wilson, this is actually something I don't want to give away things that you've shared with me, but some of the things I've been thinking about with you. You are like the ultimate plug, but you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be the ultimate plug, I think, because you're so good at it, but you can tell that you do things like on point all the time. It's just, how you do one thing, you do everything. And I sense that, I see that in everything that you do. And so then I think about all those hours that you're putting at your work with all those people that rely on you, all the different things you're doing. And that stress management is going to be key. So instead of doing things like running, that's why I was suggesting doing a weightlifting session, because even though it's going to spike cortisol, it's going to have a long-term benefit to your fat loss as opposed to running, where running really is only going to work in the moment that you're running. When you stop, that's it. And it's only a calorie burn. So there's no future benefit. You're not banking anything there. So just some things that I've been thinking about with you. That's my bedtime. Yeah, my bedtime's 8. Yeah. So I'm usually rewatching car chases in the morning. Pineapple, you never sleep. You never sleep. Menopause sucks. It does suck, but you can offset some of those side effects, especially for perimenopausal women. We can offset a lot of those with diet and your schedule, and just basically compounding your energy with certain choices over time. So like I said, things like not working out after 12, you're not taxing your adrenals, which are now required to produce a lot of your hormones. And since the ovaries went bye-bye. Lifting has been the main thing, but I'm told over and over, yes. I didn't like gyms. You can ask Mr. Mustard. It's a meat market. It is. Everyone goes there in hoop earrings and their hair down, and they're just there to gawk at people or be on their phone. And so I hated gyms. And then I met my husband, and he kind of forced me into a gym because he told me all these benefits. So I told him, I said, okay, listen, I'll follow this like weightlifting thing, but if you make me fat, you have to marry me. He married me, but he didn't make me fat. So it was a total game changer for me because I thought I would just get big and bulky. But that's because I was usually throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it would stick. I was doing random rep ranges, random set ranges, random exercises, mostly cardio. And so that's where those workouts that if you're very intentional and not doing something like, Wilson, group classes, you're going to see a bigger result in the end. So it's just quality over quantity, really, especially with bodybuilding. They're very specific. I mean, think of a bodybuilder versus a power lifter. A power lifter looks like what they lift, like a 1 rep max lift, like just one big muscle. Whereas like a bodybuilder, everything is very shapely. And you do that with the reps and the sets and the weights and the exercises that you choose. It's not random. And so unfortunately with like group classes, it's great for a calorie burn and it's great to start off with. But unfortunately, you're just going in and getting a calorie burn. You're not doing something that's going to progressively change your body over time. And that's things like you've probably heard of progressive overload. We can go over that in future episodes on how to actually build muscle, how that actually works, the science behind it, the science behind the rep ranges and the tempos and the sets, because that is very key to how you look, what your shape is. I thought I was always I actually thought I'd never had abs. Yeah, and then I have abs. I'll show you when I do Streamlabs. I'll show you a picture of my first show. I had 6-pack, and I placed 5th out of 5. So I placed my worst, looked my best, and I ended up having a line almost out the door for my autograph. So that was pretty fun. So never seen a long message alert. I'll change that. Yeah, I kind of just, so for Streamlabs, there's so many different settings, and I'm trying to figure out how it all works. And Wilson didn't hear the whole thing. Wilson, no, Wilson, I was talking about you like this whole time, like I was your fangirl. Oh, snap sock. Oh, you missed it. You'll have to play it back. But now I forgot what I was talking about because I just, the chat's distracting when you're doing this. That's a lot. Climb ladders, I was the best. Climbing, so that's like the stepper, Mo. When were you climbing ladders? Bodybuilding for the damn win. That's Mr. Mustard. You need to, Mr. Mustard, you need to change your name to Mr. Mustard. Little recommendation here. Don't have your real name. Even though everyone knows my real name, I'm sure. Yes, replay it. It's, I mean, it's something I've never told you before, but maybe a little more in depth of what I've been thinking lately with stress, especially for you. And then some tests that I think you should do too, depending on what your last labs come back with. So let's see, 6-pack, Mark. Ooh, textile factory. Yarn. How did that happen? That would be interesting. I'm going to have to Google yarn factories. Look good. That guy's gone. Good job, Wilson. So, yeah, I think we should do a part 2 where I do kind of show you the graph so you can visually see it. We can go over ways on how to balance your hormones. Biggest thing, if I could give you a takeaway right this moment, a little nugget, would be your microbiome. That is such a big driver for hormones. I mean, your hormones are made of cholesterol. That's literally, so when you see where, like on a graph, the hormones, which another graph I'll show you next time. But cholesterol is at the top. So if your diet is inadequate and you're not eating enough healthy fats, I can guarantee you your hormone levels are not adequate or what they could be. And hormones play such a huge, huge part in the shape of your body, how you feel, especially like testosterone. I know, like, it's even important for females, your sex drive, your skin health with estrogen, men, you want estrogen. That's how you build muscle, but you don't want too much. Females, you want testosterone. That's how you have confidence and energy. So you want both. Definitely you want a different mixture, whether you're male or female. But you want to make sure that you're taking in enough healthy fats just off the bat. So that's your diet. So that you're able to even make. So like think of Mo's textile factory, right? Like if she has no sheep to make the wool, to make the yarn, there's no job, and Mo just ends up being my mod for life. Right? So you have to give your body what it needs. You can't, you can't expect it to function without food, which I thought back in high school, dude, I was anorexic and bulimic in high school playing basketball. And I thought, I don't know how I did that, but it's literally 0 caloric intake. And I looked like a 12-year-old boy. I had no shape. I had no energy. My skin sucked. My hair fell out. That's why I put fake hair in now. Yeah, this is not real. I wish. Gosh, look at that. That's just insane. I wish I grew that. No. Thanks, Hannah. But, recycled. Ew. You know, I heard something that our like workout pants are plastic. Is that right? Because that's nasty. It's it's yours because you bought it. Yeah. Well, no, like if you saw me without these in, I would look like a whole different human. Ew. Zippers have recycled plastic yarn or slippers. Zippers. Mo, clarify. What do you say? Zippers. Zippers are made of plastic. How do they zip? Sorry, I'm reading this is a lot. Reading Discord, like I get why why it's hard. Oh, well that makes sense. Yeah, because it needs to be firm. Yeah, and it feels like that too. Like it's got like a waxy substance in it. Okay, that makes sense. But I mean, like the actual workout pants, you know, like your stretchy ones that come from China. I think those are made with plastic too. We'll do a whole. We'll look into it. We'll do some research. I'll start researching. I'll be a researching channel too for fitness. We can get on gut health and how. Yes. So okay, Wilson. So how we can reset it? You're gonna hate me for saying this because what Nove did, the fast. So there is a benefit to fasting. So, and I'm not saying do the French fry and water diet, but there is a benefit to it. So it does reset the cells. It allows the cells to regenerate and heal. So there is a benefit to fasting, but people use it for fat loss. And even though you lose a ton of weight, and there are some, now don't get me wrong, there are unicorns, in my opinion, that will benefit and can live a life with fasted, like doing intermittent fasting and stuff. And there are some people that their bodies just respond beautifully to it. And I call them, they are kind of like our outliers. Like my husband, he's not an intermittent fasting person. He'll probably vomit if you thought I was about to associate him with fasting. But his ability to process carbohydrates is insane. It's not something that looks right on paper. I mean, he can literally do thousands of grams of carbs in a day. And that's like a lot. So if you think one slice of bread is like 15, 20 grams of carbs, think of doing 8, 9, 1,000 grams of carbs every single day. I had to talk him through so many meals. And you would think someone would be fat, but his body, we've built that up over time, but his body is one of those that can just overly utilize food in an insane way. So there are some people that will benefit from intermittent fasting for fat loss and not have health issues. But for fat loss, it's not sustainable. Most people want to live their life. Most people want to go to a birthday party or go to Mexico, right? And have some drinks. I just had right? When I want to have kombucha, I want my body to know how to process those foods, those calories. I don't want to live in a hungry state all the time. I get hangry. 90% carbs and you're 105 pounds. Pineapple. Let me ask you this question, Pineapple. Did you like your shape when you were 105 doing, like, not saying you were fat, but like, did you like when you were that little? Boocha. You're not anymore. Yeah, right. You're tiny. He's so cute. No, olive oil is good. Mark, that's on your meal plan. By the way, I coach Mark. Mark, it's on your meal plan. Olive oil. Yes, it's good. Now, for the only source, okay. It's better than not hitting your fats. Should you have a variety of fats? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I say this to my husband all the time because he used to do just one thing, ground beef and rice all day long. And you need a variety. And he started getting issues with his skin. You get micronutrient deficiencies when you don't have a variety of foods. So yeah, you definitely want a variety if you can. I've always had an hourglass figure and big boobs, even when super skinny. Well, you're just get out. Are you even in this chat? You're just lucky. No, but that might catch up with you, pineapple, because you're still young. As you age, that not balancing out those carbs with protein, you're going to start having issues absorbing protein. Muscle will start to degenerate, basically. They call it sarcopenia. Yeah. You need to lose 10 pounds. You are not older than me. Are you? No. No. I'm 40. You're not older than me. I'm like the oldest person in our chat. No. Liar, liar. Does olive oil suck if it's the only or main source of Wilson? Who are you? Wilson's my road dog. I will adopt her one day, baby. You are really pineapple? You have to tell me one day your age if you don't want to say. You're old, Mo. You are not older than me either. I thought I was the oldest. I felt like a grandma. Carly is the. No, Wilson's young. Brian took my phone and typed that. Ah, kitty cue. 42. Okay, so we're right there together. 36. I knew that. Beatles? Beatles still here. Mm-hmm. Beetle, any hormone issues? I don't know. What do beetles have problems with? Not man boobs. No. We don't know Beetle's age. Well, he says he's older as well. So in the 40s. So that's if you're in the 40s, Beetle, your hormones are going to start dipping. 87. Yeah, and Wilson's in the FBI. He's too on it. He's too tech savvy to be 87. Yeah. But this was pretty cool. I mean, I only have 10 people, but I'm sure it'll grow. Hey, there's only 5 likes and 10 people. What the? Just kidding. Hit the like, subscribe, and share. He looks good for. I don't know what Beetle looks like. I only know a Beetle. I see 6. I see 10. I see 6 likes, but I see 10 people. I don't want to click on anything and mess it up. I don't want to hit any buttons. You can share it whenever. I'm ready. Game on. You know, like this is as ready as I'm ever going to get. I do think I'm going to keep it here at the gym for the first few streams. I will do some lives when I'm working out, maybe early in the morning. I don't know. Like a field trip kind of with my phone. I might do some grocery shopping field trips too, so you guys can see what it looks like when I go grocery shopping, what I look for, what's on the labels, things like that. I do want to do streams where I'm even at home, maybe. So we'll see. Yeah. You should have Lane Norton. Dude. So that guy is a wealth of knowledge. But so we worked with Lane for many years. He is very, he has blinders on when it comes to his knowledge. For me, I'm always trying to grow and learn, and especially in the fitness and health industry, so many things get reversed on what you think things were to what they really are. So, for example, with hormones and your fats, a lot of times you'll see on a lipid panel when you get your fat, like your fats tested, you'll see that LDL might be high, which they freak out on, right? I'll show you guys a study. We'll do a part 2. I'll show you a study in 2021 where they're actually finding out that the range originally thought to be healthy for LDL cholesterol is way too low. And in fact, higher levels of LDL are a sign of, not a sign, how can I say this, is actually a sign of being healthy. So LDL cholesterol will prevent you from dying from more things than it will causing you to die from something like a heart attack. So LDL cholesterol is not the cause, basically it's not the cause of heart attacks, but because people that do have heart attacks have high LDL, people think that that is a direct correlation, and it's not. What it is they have plaque buildup in their blood, and that it's kind of like a funnel. When you block the bottom part of that funnel, everything else is going to start to build up. So yeah, you're going to have high LDL, but you're going to have high triglycerides, you're going to have high HDL cholesterol, high VLDL cholesterol. But when they looked at the benefits of LDL cholesterol, it is actually beneficial to have high levels because it prevents cancer. Yeah. And how many people are dying from cancer versus heart attacks? Like everybody, right? Oh my gosh, shots of olive oil. Yeah, and they're pushing for, so think of statins, right? You're going to have far more health issues blocking cholesterol than you will if you didn't take them. Now, I'm not saying don't take them. Obviously, talk to your doctor, do your research, but just because you have high LDL, you want to look at other factors. You want to look at your C-reactive protein. You want to look at your triglycerides. If you eat like good level triglycerides, you're fine. And no other inflammatory markers, you're pretty much okay. Triglycerides are the fats. They're the fats that are actually in your blood and able to plaque up and build up in your bloodstream. So if those aren't building up, then your funnel isn't building up. You just have higher levels of LDL, which again is a good thing and is going to keep you alive and healthier longer than if you didn't have high levels of LDL. So, but that's one thing that they are just now putting out in studies in 2021. I've known this since probably 2018. But they are just now putting it in studies and publishing it and getting, doctors aware of it. But most doctors still do not know. In your opinion, what's high LDL? Well, it depends. Age, gender identity. Ugh. No, gender. You're either male or female. I'm going to stand on that. Oh, Esther's here. Yeah, so it depends. Your age, your gender, your weight, a lot of factors. And then also too, it's not so much that things are high. You want to look at the blood work in totality. So every time someone will ask me, oh my gosh, I got this marked flagged high. Like, so my friend Anna had her blood work and she's like, I had this high, and this high. And I said, okay, can you send me everything? Because often what is going to say is in a healthy range on your hormone panel, on your lipid panel, any blood work that you get is for an unhealthy population. So what might be in the middle as okay would actually signal to me that we're starting to see an issue. Other factors, your AST, your ALT, so like your liver function or your kidney function, those are going to be affected if someone has worked out within the last 3 days, 3, sometimes 5, if they're new, but 3 days. So if, for example, when Mr. Mustard goes to get his blood work done, usually every 6 months to a year, he doesn't work out for 3 days before, which is really hard for him. He's one of those people that has to work out every single day. And he doesn't work out for the 3 days prior so that he gets an accurate reading, because working out will create cortisol and inflammation in the body. So you might get some higher inflammatory markers than you would have had you not trained for those 3 days prior. So you'll get more realistic answers. So, wow, I put a stop to that answer with the chat. Mic drop, I guess. Anyone else have a question? This is good. How do you get man boobs, maybe? I really like that topic. All my girls know why. Because it's funny. Oh, yay. But yeah. Oh, you know, Beetle. Should we put you on? How do you get rid of them? Well, for most, surgery, unfortunately. But first thing I would do, besides getting like your diet on point, balancing your blood sugar levels, is zinc. If you don't, as a man, if you are deficient in zinc, which is really easy to do. So you have about a teaspoon of zinc circulating in your body at one time. Very small amount. And if you overdo zinc, you actually get really nauseous. So you want to do it in small doses, and you want to do the right kind of zinc. But for men, so I hope my mom's not watching, although I've said this in front of her too. It's just weird. For men, every time, and this is why it's for no kids, every time you have fun with yourself or someone else, I guess it could be someone else too. It should be, it's better. You lose a lot of zinc. So think of a teenage boy, okay, is going to have a lot of lost zinc and they are probably already eat like crap, right? So that's where you get zits, back knee. There was this guy before I met my husband that me and my friends, when we would go to the gym to do cardio, we called him Scotty Pimples, because he did a lot of steroids, had a lot of DHT buildup. I mean, I didn't know that then it was DHT. I just thought he had a lot of pimples, but all over his back, face. That's a lot of DHT buildup, male pattern balding, boobies, man boobies. So what happens is testosterone converts to estrogen. So you become basically estrogen dominant in a way, but soy boy. But there's an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase, and that converts your testosterone into this very toxic form, a hormone called DHT. And that's what will then create those issues. So unfortunately, you can't test for DHT in like a standard blood panel or a hormone panel. So it happens like in the cell in the liver, but there's ways that you can see with a hormone panel if you're having some of those issues, or you could just go like this, right? Or like this, things like that. Yeah. So lots of zinc. It is going to depend, you want to make sure you get the right zinc for the job, but zinc is really cheap. I would start very low, but make sure, first of all, that your diet's on point, because you're going to have other issues of DHT buildup. It's not just zinc, it's selenium, things like that. You can do, if you do have DHT buildup happening, if you've got some man boobs going on, you can reduce some of the buildup in a way, but for a lot of guys, they do need to have that gland removed. So it's surgery for some. But yeah, you'll see like gyno down here. So like a lot of bodybuilders that have that DHT buildup down here, they'll have like a structured chest and then it like droops at the bottom like a teardrop kind of. Yeah, I don't have acne or any zinc. Well, zinc's involved in like, I think it's 500 different processes in the body. So it's not just for acne or anything like that. And then if you've got great skin and your body just isn't prone to that, it might manifest in other ways if you are deficient. If you're not experiencing issues now, that's good though. But I would recommend making sure you do have adequate zinc. For guys though, if you want to take something like Tunka Ali, girls do not take that. It has a different effect on females, but guys, you can take Tunka Ali, Brazil nuts, add zinc, add selenium to your diet. Yeah, and then just as good zinc sup. I think I said that though. Be careful with Brazil nuts. Yes? Why? Not like real. I want to know. You eat 2 per day, Wilson? That's good. Yay! Is this good? Like, is this okay? Is this, I was so nervous. I can't even tell you. This time my husband, like, I almost didn't, I wanted to back out. Well, you take selenium for your thyroid. Huh? Yes. I see. Yes. You also want to be careful on anything that you're taking. You do not, like I said, with zinc, you have a teaspoon running around in your body. You will throw up if you take too much. You will get super nauseous. So don't guys, don't start downing zinc or selenium. You want to take the right amount for sure. Careful with these nuts. And I wouldn't do Brazil nuts every single day. I would break things up with different food sources because different foods have different cofactors to them that will benefit how your hormones process in your body. So you get too much of one thing, it's your body is really missing out on other nutrients. And especially if you're not taking a good multivitamin to help put those missing other cofactors in there, or a good green supplement for the antioxidants, you're almost, I would say almost wasting money. Now, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't take nothing. But I would try to do a variety as much as possible, not the same thing. The only time I ever have a client eat the same exact thing is if they have an issue with meal prep, getting their food on point, or if they're getting close to a show, because I have to really keep the microbiome happy. No guesswork. No, oh crap, I haven't had steak in 3 weeks. Now I'm processing steak, and then it just freaks out. So for someone going on stage, it's a different story. It has to be very limited foods. But for overall health, not stage ready, you want as much variety as possible with all foods, your meats, your carbs, your fats. everything, as color, variety, everything. Yeah. Yeah. But the problem is, so let me ask you guys this. This is getting a little off topic, but you need nutrients to build your hormones. And most of us are nutrient deficient in something. And a lot of it is because of our food. It's the farming practices, the soil quality. I say this to my clients all the time when I'm launching them. Usually when I've got, true crime on one screen and I'm launching them on this screen. But I'll tell them, the foods you eat, unfortunately, yes, we want as much variety in whole foods because they do have different things in them. But because of the way that the food industry has really perverted itself and focused solely on profit, you're missing a lot of nutrients that we used to have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. So, and then on top of that, they're creating a product that can withstand a grocery store, can withstand shipping, travel, shelf life. I mean, it's ridiculous. Think of, let's see, I'll give a free membership. Who can tell me how old the average apple is in a grocery store? Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's terrible pineapple. 4 months a year. No. Don't Google it. Don't cheat. I can't see you. 4 years. No, that'd be 2 years is an average apple. They inject it with a chemical to stop the ripening process. You're eating it. Yeah. And that ripening process is important. It's important for so many different nutrients to evolve and develop and not just to mention the moment you pick it, it does still start to die. Hey, so my screen, so for those that saw my preview thing, my screen is cracked. So it shakes when it gets too hot. So tell me if you guys shake or if it's just me. If it's just me, it's fine. I don't care. My eyes go retarded anyway. But if it shakes for you, tell me, okay? Because then I need to get a new laptop. Sorry, Mr. Mustard. But if it shakes for you guys, then it's not good. But yeah, spinach, you are going to lose, I think it's up to 70% of the nutrients within hours of picking spinach. How old do you think your spinach is at the grocery store? I don't even know, but I don't want to know. I mean, I do, but I don't. Because think, and I eat bagged spinach. I don't grow my own spinach. But that's why I take a multivitamin and a green supplement on top of it. You're intolerant to spinach. Yeah. Oh, I hate when spinach rots too. It gets all like watery. And sorry, Mr. Mustard, but I had to throw away a bag of spinach the other day because it did that. But if you don't use it fast enough, right? So just imagine, okay, have you ever has anyone ever grown spinach? So I've grown spinach at one point, and within picking it, it starts to wilt very fast. So I can just imagine the spinach I get is injected with something. Has to be. It's horrific. So the lack of nutrients you're getting in the food, you have to fill those gaps. And that's where those vitamins come into play and supplements. I don't know why I got on that topic. So is it shaking for you guys? Is the screen, is it glitching? I hope not. Okay, so don't buy shredded cheese. Oh, good. That's perfect. So this is awesome. Okay, so don't buy prepackaged shredded cheese. They add stuff to it so it doesn't go together. It doesn't cake. It's disgusting. Shred it yourself. Take the time. It's annoying, especially when you have 4 kids, especially when you have 3,569 kids that want. Red's here. Hey, Red. Hey. Yes, you can cut around it. You can cut around cheese. Has anyone ever tried freezing cheese? So, cheese is my favorite food, pineapple. I don't like new clients eating cheese. Yeah, because I got to get their microbiome happy. I got to get everything on point, and then I can slowly add some cheese in. But our bodies do not process dairy as we age. We produce less and less lactase. And so cheese is really hard. Any sort of dairy is really hard on the gut. But you can take things like glutamine to help with that, to help coat your gut wall, help with the inflammation and the bloating. Australian cheddar cheese. My body absorbs cheese. I used to joke when I was younger that you could put cheese on anything and I would eat it, like anything, and I would eat it. I just love cheese. Too much. My daughter, you should have seen how much cheese she put on. She's probably watching right now. Yeah, you put too much cheese on there. Like I said, it's like half the plate was cheese. I was like, what are you eating for breakfast? Just cheese? Which she knows isn't okay. Oh, I could put cheese on anything. Anyway, she was like, no, cheese and crackers and turkey for breakfast. Whose kids make their own food? Kids are watching. Yeah. Like, dude, they know how I talk. Those are the only kids watching right now. They hear me talk to all our clients all the time. You know what would be really good is these protein SpaghettiOs. I saw a really good recipe. I should share it with everybody. My son cooks healthier than I do. It smells amazing. You know, it's not mean. It's true. She's sketty. Ooh. I guess you could put Parmesan cheese on SpaghettiOs, right? Yeah. Should we invite Sugar? Get the fuck out of here. It is an inside joke, Mr. Mustard. You don't know it yet. It is inside. Please, God, no to the Parmesan on SpaghettiOs. Mo, you do not have to stay away from pasta. Ask Mark. Mark knows. Pasta's okay. Mm-hmm. The thing is, okay, so I should backtrack because pasta is not okay for everybody. There's people that are insulin resistant that need to watch specific foods that they eat. And so pasta would be something for some. I might say no. But for most people, pasta's fine. And in fact, whole wheat pasta is pretty good. The thing is balancing it with the right amount of protein and fats, and then what your totals are at the end of the day for what your goals are. Everything should promote a healthy gut. So if you're doing carbs like pasta, if you're doing a good healthy protein with it, your fats aren't too high, your carbs aren't too high, it shouldn't be an issue. Protein. So careful with things like protein pasta, because a lot of that stuff is just crap. Just eat real protein. I mean, don't you want more food? Is always my question with clients. Like, okay, yeah, you could get, protein pasta, but then you get less protein like meat, or steak. Oh, I know, I'm hungry too. You still buy it. You just want the less processed crap, the better. The better your gut will be, the less bloated it'll be. Your immune system sits behind your gut wall. So, for example, when you have something that is carbs and your blood sugar isn't balanced, those carbs are going to sit in your gut and seep through the gut wall and go into your immune system and agitate your immune system. So you get a bunch of systemic inflammation, autoimmune issues. Alcohol is one of them. It'll sit and you'll find sometimes the next day you have a runny nose or like a lot of histamine. Streamlabs needs to go home. I don't know how to turn Streamlabs off. Sorry, pineapple. I'm still learning. Chickpea pasta, I didn't like it. If you're gonna eat pasta, protein. No, I would do regular pasta and do real meat. Do real food on top. Do grilled chicken or shrimp or fish. Beef, do spaghetti. Oh, put some beef in there. Grams of protein on the label isn't necessarily correct. A lot of what's on the label sometimes isn't even in the product. That's actually the problem with the supplement industry. So when people will take things to try to fix their issues, so when we were making our own supplement brand, we found a lot of this out. The manufacturer will try to get a bigger profit and will swap things that should be in your product out for other things without telling you after the first label is ran. So that's always nice, just so that they make a bigger profit because it's not regulated by the FDA. So once that first label goes, you could kind of swap it out for anything. But as far as food, I wouldn't be surprised. And then also too, how much you're really absorbing, and then the quality of the protein. I always talk about that with clients, is the different types of protein. They're always asking me which one. And you go into a supplement store and there's giant shelf of like 100 million different proteins ranging from $5 to $500 pretty much. And yeah, it sucks because no one knows the difference, but I can tell you. That can be an episode. Yeah. Low fat means higher salt or higher. Usually low fat means higher sugar, higher carbs. They have to offset it somewhere. Okay, so Wilson knows the premier proteins. It's protein, right? It's a drink. It's supposed to be healthy, but it's crap. It's chemicals. So as wholesome as you can make it, that's why even with protein powder, there's this beef protein powder that I've been trying. It's okay. But protein powder is just processed. So I try to have my clients do only one shake a day, if possible. But then there's life, right? You get busy, or like for me, I've had 2 linear bars today, which is processed protein. So my body's not going to respond as well as it would if I would have done whole food. I'm not going to get as many benefits from the bar as I would whole food. Micronutrient wise. Macronutrient wise, I'll hit my macros, I'll get my protein, I'll hit my carbs, everything will be good there. But micronutrient wise, it's going to be very deficient in the nutrients that I need, but also it's going to be inflammatory to my gut. So it's going to pull even more nutrients from my body. You're sipping on wine. So that's good. So with wine, I usually have my clients reduce their carbs in that meal or subsequent meals. You're drinking muscle milk. Ooh, that's like premier protein. pineapple, so good. Yes, it's so true. So your body will stop burning fat when you drink alcohol until it's gone. Yeah, it sucks. So this is so much fun. She does drink in Mexico. I've seen it. Tried to eat and had to talk on the radio. I can't have it. Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's what I would do is I would do a better quality protein that's going to absorb better. Usually muscle milk is a concentrate. And usually their protein sources are not the best quality. So I would recommend a whey isolate and add in your carbs with whole food that you could still drink. So do a shake, protein shake with the whey isolate, and a scoop, a serving size, which I could tell you depending on your body weight and such. But put oats in your shaker, and then put your peanut butter for your fats because we want our hormones to be happy. So put peanut butter in there and maybe some almond milk and your protein powder, shake it up, and there's your shake. There's your muscle milk, but with better ingredients. So you're reducing the amount that's processed, is what I would do. Alcohol calories are not what they say they are. She is right. It takes more calories to burn alcohol, yes, than a standard carb. It's so true. Even though it's labeled as a carb, because they don't have a separate section for alcohol carbs. So they put it as a carb, which, yes, makes it incorrect. But yeah, it takes more calories to burn alcohol off. I think it's like 7 point. Pineapple could probably look it up for me, but it's like 7 something, I think. So I do like my bucha. So one of the things so sugar will spike a cortisol type response in your body. So that's one thing I do like about Flying Embers for my kombucha. It's a hard kombucha. It is 0 sugar, has things like ashwagandha in it and other adaptogens. So I'm putting things back in my body that are going to help with the inflammation that the alcohol is going to bring about. Does it take away all the negative side effects? No. Do I still wake up with a hangover if I have too many? Sure. But it's a lot better for you and a lot easier for your body to process and get rid of. And I love my wine, but wine, high sugar, high alcohol, and then depending on the quality of wine, you've got other additives in there that your body then has to process. So I personally like the kombucha from Flying Embers. This is not a paid promotion. Although, hey, hit me up. I'm in the off season. I do like that because of the sugar-free, because of the adaptogens and the things that they add to it. They have like 2 flavors, 24 pack of oats every night at Costco. I wonder what's in the overnight oats. Check what they put in there. Always check the back of the label. Look at your table salt. Next time you go to the store and look at the back, they're actually sneaking sugar in your salt. So unless you want sugar on your steak, I approved them. Oh, the overnight oats? Yes, use pink salt. Pink Himalayan salt. Okay, I didn't know that's what she was talking about. You've never seen that pineapple on table salt? Yeah, it's terrible. It is terrible. Who puts sugar? Like, come on. Who does that? My daughters probably would. Hi. I don't use salt or sugar. So you should, if you're eating whole foods, you need salt. Salt is not a bad thing. Not at all. I would check mine, but it's still in a moving box. Oh, it was like a year ago. Okay. I was going to say my brain is slightly retarded at times, and usually closer to 8 o'clock at night, I get more retarded. So it's possible. Hey, guys, I think at one point we had like 12 people in here. Hey, 8 people, 8 likes. Yes, 100%. I scored big. No, but please share it. Please like it. I feel weird saying it. Please hit the subscribe because I do want to help more people. And it would be really cool to see this thing. Ooh, 13. Kind of take off. I feel like this is something I've been meant to do for a while now as I started to get more and more on YouTube and making more friends with people and people having questions. And so I thought this would be a good way that I could kind of harness all of those questions into one spot and people could, learn. So I know you can, Wilson, but people that really, want it. I don't care about being like a big YouTuber. I just want to help more people, really. And whoever is like enjoying it or learning from it or benefiting from it, that's what matters. I don't have to have YouTube to live off of, which is really a blessing, but I would really like to help more people. So this is kind of a cool way. Yeah. And now you guys see my face, which is weird because I don't like to be on camera. So, and I don't like my voice either. I don't know if I'm going to play this back. I don't know if I have the balls. I don't think I have the balls to play it back. I thought about posting about how many subscribers I have and how it's grown so fast in the last few days. I think I've doubled. So should I leave the stream on and do some weird stuff? That'd be fun too. I could go viral then, maybe. I could buy bots. Yeah, I could. Yeah. And viral videos. Yeah. I have a feeling, I'm actually curious if we're going to get in, because I told my husband, I'm like, well, because I was telling him I, felt nervous. He's like, why? And I was like, well, what if people don't like me? There's mean people, even to like Nove, right? There's just mean people. So I don't handle that as well as I wish I could, because I get, my feelings hurt maybe, but thanks, Fred. And that's the thing. That's what I told Mr. Mustard. I said, I want to do this for people, and that's really all that matters. So if there's 5 people for the rest of my life that I help on here, then there's 5 people. If there's 1 million, then there's 1 million. If there's 2, there's 2. If there's haters, there's haters. I got Mo, and I've got other mods. Watch, I'm going to mod all you people that didn't want to mod ever again. Get a bot named Spot. So, Red, you weren't here in the beginning, but I tried to have a night bot from Streamlabs that was named like Sassy Sauce. I thought that would be funny, for mustard sauce, but sassy. They could be like kind of Streamlabs and be all spicy. But I don't like how spicy Streamlabs is. It's not very nice. I'm going to have to go in there and change a lot of settings. Wilson. Aw. No, this is going to be fun. This will be fun. And if I get to hang out with you guys, all the time and it's just us, then I'm honored that you guys would even spend your time with me and even ask me like what I think. Hey, Mom, it's me, Bailey. Oh, no. That's my daughter. She should not be chatting on YouTube. She's not allowed to have the remote right now. She's lost the remote control privileges. Wilson says, happy late birthday, Bailey. See, I talk about you. Yeah, she turns 9. She turned 9 on the 27th. Yeah, Bailey, earmuffs. Yeah, although that poor girl, she's heard a lot out of this mouth. Right? Especially like when drama happens. It's really hard for me to not talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this was so much fun. And I feel like I should have gone more in depth about what I said I was going to talk about, but I think I would be doing a disservice without those charts. And so now that I know how to go live, I will do a Streamlabs version so I can show you all of those graphs. We can actually go through them. You can see, so I talk to my clients a lot about their sleep and the circadian rhythm of like their cortisol, right? So how that flows, and other things like your organs, they all have a specific peak time. So on a clock, like you can actually see like, oh, your liver and is like mostly active here, and like your kidneys should be mostly active here. So when your circadian rhythm, when your sleep, pineapple, is off, pineapple, and you're not sleeping at night, pineapple, a lot of other things like organs and stuff start to go wonky. None of us want to work out at 3 a.m. now. Yeah, so I don't either. I don't like it as far as, well, I do like it. I don't like waking up early. I'm tired. But I go to bed at 8. So if you think about it, for most people, they go to bed at 10 and they wake up at 6. Or, yes, it's like, what, 8 hours. So I'm going to bed at 8, waking up at 2. That's 6 hours. I can function off of that, but I still don't like to wake up. I'm still tired. It's still a little early for like a good circadian rhythm. Problem is, Mr. Mustard works out at 5 o'clock. So if I want to go get my workout in without having 4 littles tagging along with me, and then plus when the day goes on, I am so busy with client calls and juggling true crime. It's so much work. And chatting with my besties. So, it timed her out. I put her in timeout. Oh, I love it. But yeah, I go because of so he can go at his time. But I also don't like people. So when I go, it's not just a gym, it's my gym. So I own this gym with my hubby, Mr. Mustard. So I could probably, I don't want to mess this up, but maybe what I'll do in the future is, take this and show you guys out there. But the whole gym's out there. It's about 10,000 square feet of gym. Okay, 2 stories. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. It's hard as heck to maintain, but so when I come here and there's people here that know I'm here, they want to ask me questions. And I'm here to work out. I am not here to talk to anybody. I have my headphones in. I'm not even listening to true crime. I'm not responding to my pursuit queens. I am none of that. No Connor on kick. No, Lord Hito for street takeovers. It is, this is going to sound really gangster. It's Christian rap, baby. Literally, that's what I listen to. and I am just in the zone. I want to be in and out. So if I go at a time when there's 100 different people here, I won't get out of here for 3 or 4 hours. And I'm super setting exercises, 1, so I have a high calorie burn, but 2, so I can get out of here faster. I love my gym, but I don't want to be here. I want to go home. So I do like to work out at that time because there's maybe 2 other people here, and we're a 24-hour gym. So we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We never, ever close, even with COVID. Yeah. So you can come at any time. Most people don't come when I come. So I can come in, get my workout in, and leave. But that's really the only reason why I harness that time for myself, because then I can be back. Mr. Mustard can go do his workout. And then I can either, if the kids are in school, I'm making their lunches at 5. I've done my journaling in my Bible. I've done some reading. I've responded to text messages. And then I'm all ready when the kids wake up. I'm not like waking up to crying. I'm not a good person when I wake up to crying. So have you seen those drop set pins? I bought some drop set pins. Drop set pins. Drop set pins? I think you broke me. You'll have to send me a picture. Send it on Discord. I have Discord up. Oh my gosh, you guys sent something. Oh, a video. I want to play this so bad right now, Beetle. No! It says circadian on there. And there's a face. I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I don't see. So adjustable dumbbells are good for at home. Problem is, you can only do so much with dumbbells. So Mr. Mustard and we had a small gym at home for a while, especially during COVID. We thought, oh my gosh, we're going to have to like move everything at home, because we did close for 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, we didn't know what was going on. We closed. And then I realized that's BS. So we opened. And in that 2-week time frame, dude, I was lifting jugs of milk, okay, to do bicep curls. I was trying to find anything and everything I could find to do a workout at home. But what you're going to realize is, like, in the first month or 2, like, that's great, but then you're going to outgrow it. Plus, you need to do different types of exercises. So you don't want to look like the one exercise you're able to do with those dumbbells. So dumbbells are beneficial, but you're going to kind of outgrow that gym. And not to say you have to get big like a bodybuilder, but your strength will outgrow that very fast. So it's good in the beginning, but it's probably for the better that he lost the pin or broke it or whatever, because now he can go get a gym membership. And that's why we open, because people can't. Okay, so weight, you can get a plate, right, that you on your weight. It's like $2 a pound, right? So if I'm at a gym, imagine all the weights that are out there. So even just a 45-pound plate, one plate, $90. Well, you need a matching set so you can do a chest press, right? So that's $180. Then you need the bar. And then eventually you're going to need more. So it's so expensive for people to have a home gym long term. It's good for like those random workouts, in my opinion, that you can't make it to the gym, so you need to do something at home. It's good for like a substitute. But long term, a gym is just a nice, efficient way to hit all the different exercises you need to hit in the way that you need to hit them to build the shape that you want to build. Because remember, it's very specific. How you lift, the exercises, the reps, the sets, the tempo, everything is going to create a specific shape. And we can go over this later in a different episode, but you have, oh, I see. Well, drop set pins. So you take it to the gym. I demand strength. I'm going to look into that pineapple. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. That's nice. So what, he goes to the gym then. So that's good because he would need a gym to use those in. I do have clients do a lot of drop sets. Not all the time, very specific. But I do have them do drop sets. That's really cool. I might want to get some of those for the gym. I'm going to send these to Mr. Mustard. That's really cool. He's like a bodybuilder. Does he ever join YouTube? He should join in on the chat. Has he ever done a show? Has he ever thought about a show? Why and why not? That's what I want to know. He's at work. He is pretty busy being like a cat brain surgeon, right? Or a cat tail surgeon. What are drop sets? Asking for photos. Base, drop, or red. I usually call you red. I don't know why I said base. Red, drop sets. So usually when I'm trying to have a client burn a muscle out, like really fatigue it out, use the last little bit of glycogen that's in it so it really stimulates some change, is I'll have them do, or if I want them to try to lift weight at a heavier weight, but I know they won't be able to do all of the reps at that weight, so then I'll have them do a drop set. But a drop set is, so I would see, this is where I should have my screen. I could show you. But so someone will go in and let's say we're doing squats. I'll put the heaviest amount of weight I can do for a certain amount of reps. Let's say 20 reps, which is 20 repetitions. So I'll do 20 squats. And if a drop set of, let's say 20, 20, 20. So what I'll do is I'll put that heavy weight on, do 20, and then take usually about half of that weight off and immediately do another 20. So I'm dropping the weight and doing another set right away without rest. And then if there's something like a triple drop set, you would do it 3 times, right? So you would drop it, do 20, drop it, do 20, so on. And it doesn't have to be 20. The reps are very specific to the muscle fiber that you're trying to stimulate. So the actual shape, the density. So for me, when I am doing glutes, I want to grow my glutes. My glutes have amnesia. They don't like to grow. So I have to utilize a bunch of different rep ranges and set ranges, but I focus mostly on my heavier lifts that are slower because it stimulates a specific muscle fiber that has the most density to it. It's able to get the biggest. You'll see the biggest visual difference. So again, think of like that power lifter. He looks like that 1 rep max. He looks like that one big heavy ass rep. Or look at someone that's doing really lightweight and like tons of reps. They're very like no shape. That's the difference in two of the 3 different muscle fibers. Now you have one in the middle. It's got a little bit of both. But your rep range, your set range, and the tempo, the speed in which you do it is going to determine if you see any change at all in your physique, and 2, what kind of change. So for a drop set, Josh got yelled at by Streamlabs. There's a pursuit. Oh, T-Seed. See, what do I do? Streamlabs is being a jerk. I don't know how to turn it off from here, but I'll figure it out. And I'll yell at it. Sorry. Oh, it's over. Okay. But I'll use a drop set if I've done a bunch of heavy lifts in the beginning, and then it's my last exercise at the end of my workout to really pull all the last glycogen out of that muscle. So I'll go really heavy and then half that weight, and half, it depends. Sometimes I will do not necessarily a drop set, but I will do like 7 sets of 12 with a very short rest period in between. So it's a little bit of a mix of what I call like the rest pause theory, where if you're trying to really grow that density, you can go really heavy. And obviously, if you're going so heavy that you can't finish the rep range, I tell you to rest the weight, count to 5, pick it back up, and finish out as much as you can, whether it's 1 rep, 2 reps, 3 reps. That way you're still targeting the right muscle fiber, you're still hitting the right weight load, you're still hitting the right tempo, but you're allowing the body to recover just a tad so that you're able to do that without injury, without risking form. Yeah. So drop set, density. I'm just tired hearing about it. What? Aw, Streamlabs. All your muscles do not have amnesia. When are you going to do the show? If the pursuit happens, you guys can go and come back. You're not tied to me. You ain't married to me. Mr. Mustard is. He has to stay. I wonder what Micah and Elijah, my 2 babies, are doing seeing me on the TV screen right now. They're probably freaking out. It's probably weird. Taurus Pac-Man. Oh. Ooh. Okay. So, Pineapple, you bring up a good point. You don't always want to train for size. You want to train those little stabilizing muscles with the higher reps, the lower weight. You don't want to neglect those muscle fibers, but also having active recovery weeks. So if you look up neurophysiologist Ken Ware, he's out of Australia. He's got paraplegics literally running Ironmans. And it ain't pretty, but he's basically retrained the brain with that mind-muscle connection, using something that I utilize for our clients in their active recovery week. So it re-strengthens the correct pathway from your brain to your muscle, helps prevent injury, and also encourages those stabilizing muscles to really support the right pathway. Because when you're doing an exercise, and I yell at Mr. Mustard all the time, when he's in the gym, you see a lot of people bounce and move like this. You're using momentum for a lot of your lift. So something he might want to look at is, even though he might have been able to lift the weight, what was his form like? Was he bouncing in the rep, which most people do, instead of pausing? I get dinged on YouTube if I say the OTSI word, because I call myself a form OTSI, if you know what I mean. Like, I am very particular on form. When I'm doing my workouts, you'll see I'm going to post a video on Instagram this week of how to do the cable kickbacks the correct way. There's so many elements to the exercise that your body will try to use to help lift the weight and make it easier for itself. And so you really want to focus, not just, okay, is the form correct because I'm kicking back how I should, or like, I'm not like flopping around, but even just how your foot is planted. So on a kickback, let's see if I can show you without dying here. A kickback, I need my leash. Okay, so on a glute kickback, when you're standing, you want to push your foot into the ground like that and kick back and up, okay? But a lot of people, they'll take the planted foot. Oh, per AI, you can say, let's see. Oh. Okay. I do glorify form Aussies because I don't want to. I'll just not do it. But like when you do the kickback, so that foot that's planted on the ground, most people completely forget about. You'll see they're hanging onto the rails. I do too, but they don't realize they're pushing off of it to help push the weight back, or they're digging into the ground in an off-center way, like, and so they're using a lot of that, resistance to help get the weight up. I like to act like, so maybe this is where my true crime comes in. I like to act like I've been kidnapped and I've been put in a vat of concrete and nothing can move that's not supposed to move. I make sure my shoulders stay square because a lot of times on a kickback, you'll see people they turn, when they're going, because it makes it easier for your range of motion. Well, then you're losing that range of motion in the movement. And so you're missing out on a lot of that muscle activation and glute activation, and you get weird shaped booty. So if you want that nice, well-rounded booty, right? Beetle, I know you do. You have to make sure you're doing the form right. And so a lot of people will do these exercises and never see change. Yes, their diet's not on point, and so that's probably one of the biggest factors. But then they're doing random reps, random sets, random tempos, random exercises, and then the form isn't there. And so there's a lot of things with form that just you don't think about as important, and it really is. You can lower the weight literally in half, like with your husband, Pineapple. He's so cute. I feel like saying that every time. With his form, I would love it if he came down here and I could like check his form, because he might be pushing off of his feet when he's pressing up into the chest press. My husband does it a lot. Or lifting his neck up and off, which is then going to tighten certain things, which then, but it'd be interesting. I'd be curious to see his form. Ab roller, water rower. What? Red. I like rowing for my abs. Honestly, abs are made in the kitchen. I mean, you could do I do body weight exercises, but don't add weight to your ab exercises. No. Not unless you want to build big blocky abs in a canoe. Don't do sit-ups. No. Do squats. Do lunges. I put a body weight workout, I think I did, in Discord. You could do that. Yeah, don't do sit-ups. Honestly, sit-ups should be very minimal. Because again, you don't want those abs to build out. Yes, you want like the lines and the shape, but that'll come when you get leaner, and that's with the kitchen. But anything you do in the gym or even out and about in life, you should be engaging your core, and that is decent enough activation. Yeah. I mean, not to say don't ever do crunches, but it should. I mean, how many of y'all would do like hundreds when you were a kid? I think I was 10, and I remember being in my room and I was doing like I'm gonna do 100 crunches, and it didn't work. That's when I come from sitting up in bed. Yeah, I feel you. I did not want to get out of bed today. Would do 50, some in 2 minutes. Oh, okay. For PT test. What's injured? Oh, you don't mean physical therapy, I don't think. Or do you? Leaning back when you were, yeah. What do you mean in the kitchen? I don't use weights. I have a bad knee and can't do the squats and such. Diet. So making sure your diet's on point. Bloating is minimal. Reducing fat. off the body, usually with diet. That's what I mean. Like you're not going to make, if you're working out in the gym and you're doing, your workouts and such, not including crunches, and you're doing cardio how you're supposed to, and you're eating how you're supposed, like the eating is where you're going to see it. Because you could do the workouts and the cardio, and if you have a crappy diet, you're not going to see the abs, unfortunately. I mean, if you think about it, that's what I was saying. When I was anorexic and bulimic, I was hardly taking in any calories. I was throwing it all up, and then going and playing basketball, doing tons of cardio. I never had abs. I was skinny fat. Yeah. A lot of that is just diet. That's where you're really going to tie it in and see it. Yeah, see, but why? Why does the military need to do so much? Why? You can't work out a bad diet. Are you skinny fat? You're not skinny fat. You're not skinny fat. Pineapple, I've told you, I will help you. I know you said you got to get some things in order before you start working on your food, but now's the time. Look at this mod mo. Everybody thinks the mods. Wilson's going to be a mod. Pineapple's going to be a mod. Everyone's going to be a mod. And they can't chat anywhere else. Just kidding. Interesting. So for all of my clients, because I've got clients all over, right? So I can't be there physically to feel their skin and see what's fat, what's water, or assess them in person. So I check waistline and weight. And waistline is more indicative than whatever the weight says. Yeah. I usually want my clients to be as heavy as possible, being as lean as possible, because then that means they have the most muscle tone. And they usually love their shape because of that. It's people that are so afraid of that scale going up or staying up that they self-sabotage. It's the workout part you hate? No. Is it because you don't know, do you know what to do? Maybe? Yeah. Well, the watermelon diet? Wow, that sounds like the water and fry diet. I've heard of it. It's getting popular. Doesn't work though. Pineapple, I can help you. And honestly, for most of my females that don't have the motivation to go to the gym, it's because they don't know exactly what to do. And so when and not saying you don't know what you're doing, but even those that know what they're know how the machines work, know how to do a bicep curl, all that stuff, but they don't know how to structure the workout to get actually a body that changes. I always thought I was stuck with my body. And then I realized, you can actually change it. And so that was where it was really to me, and where this place becomes not that meat market that I always thought it was, but it becomes like my bakery. I come in here and I get to cook up how I want to be shaped, how I want to feel in clothes, how I want to look. And I never thought that was possible before. I thought I was just stuck with what I was stuck with. I used to say I had all steak and no potatoes because I was all quad dominant and no booty. So I was just big legs. And I hated it. I would wear pants growing up all the time. I would never wear shorts except for when I played basketball. And I hated having anything super tight, showing how big my legs were. So yeah. Yeah, just start. Okay. So pineapple, I don't care if you mention someone else in here. Who did you get the program from? Because a lot of times it's cookie cutter. And that's something that I don't do is cookie cutter. All of my clients, I design their programs for them based on their biofeedback. So all of my clients are checking in with me every 2 days. They're giving me their body weight and their waistline. And once a week, I am getting a progress photo from them, front, side, and back, so I can see how things are shaping up on the other areas that we're not measuring. And this is one of the things I wish Nat would have done when I was helping Nat and that other person. But it tells me so much of what's happening. And so then I can design the workouts how they're supposed to be. Because like I said, the reps and the tempo and the sets and the exercises, it's all needs to be for you, your body type. Because so I said, for me, I don't have that hourglass shape that you have. I look like a 2x4 when I stand up straight and face somebody. I'm like, ugh, I keep doing that. I'm like literally a board. So I have to create that shape. I have to build that booty, and which is part of why I train it. So that frequency is important. So I train glutes 4 times a week. Then I train legs 2 times a week. So I'm training my lower body 6 times a week, if that makes sense. But I'm not just doing random exercises, random sets, random things. It's very specific. And so that's where we can get into in future episodes, like progressive overload. What is that? How does it really create change, which is stimulating muscle to develop or shape up, tone up, and how that happens and how you can encourage your body to do that. And that's where the nutrition comes into play. If you're not eating enough and you don't have the right hormonal balance, you will not build what you need to in the gym. And so that's why even with the right plan in the gym, I group my workouts with food. I don't like to just put people in the gym and not make sure that they're adequately fueled. It's kind of like, I feel like that's a disservice, right? Because they won't see much change if they're not fueling their body. They're just going to tear down muscle without having the things they need to build it back up. So for our programs, we offer guarantees. So I guarantee my work. I guarantee for all my clients that if they do what I tell them to do, I wish my kids would. If they do the things that I set out for them to do based off of what they've told me they can do, their history, all that stuff, we go through a whole thing. But, I design everything and schedule everything on a 7 to 10 day basis so that we do get to that end goal. And usually I supersede my guarantee, which is awesome. But as long as they follow that, they'll get there. For most fitness people in the industry right now, they're just shifting out the same program. It's just a cookie cutter. This is what I gave Tina. This is what I gave Joanne. And actually, that's why I fired my manager. I had a manager here, and she was helping me with coaching. I taught her everything that I knew. And long story short, I ended up having to put her on suspension. And I took over the clients that she was coaching, and I'm looking at the meal plan, and she's having people eat 6 bananas in one meal. And she was just cookie cuttering it out to everybody, made a mistake on one, and didn't realize it. And so now everyone had the mistake, and everyone was having random stupid results, right? And so that's a lot of why cookie cutter doesn't work, is because Pineapple, you're not the same as Wilson. You're not the same as me. You're not the same as your husband. You're your history, what you've done for workouts, what you've done for cardio, your hormones, your diet. You've talked a lot about things that you don't feel you can do or can eat, and things that are particular to you. And then on top of it, I don't want to dish out, your tea, but everyone has a different schedule. Everyone has a different response to stress. Everyone has a different lifestyle. Some have 5,629 kids. Some have 1, right? Oh, you're a minute behind. I don't know. Yeah, 6 bananas. I know. It's insane. But it's very particular to you. So anytime you're going to get help, make sure it is not. And it's hard to tell. I think you just need to kind of vet your coach out and see what kind of results they're giving people, and then make sure it's not AI'd. A lot of fitness people will actually, it's so sad because then I feel like those poor clients that gave them their progress photos and then they see their fitness coach post it and it's altered. I would feel like, wait a minute, why'd you alter my photo? I thought you were proud. So I don't alter our before and after photos. A lot of people do. So just be leery of that. But that's part of why we have a guarantee with our program, is because nowadays everyone is a fitness and health coach now, and they'll go off and do one fitness show, or they'll maybe drop 20 pounds and next thing you know, they know everything. Well, no, this took me over 10 years to really solidify a way to coach people with so many different types of, just lifestyles, all those things I mentioned, all that. Everyone is so unique. Everyone is so different. And to try to give the same program to everyone, it's not fair. That's not nice. And that's likely why you didn't see results. And then 2, was it coupled with nutrition? If it's not coupled with nutrition, then that's like having a job site and not sending any laborers to the job site to build the building. You have the work out there, you have the land, all the stuff is there, but you don't have anyone to do the work. Or maybe, I guess it'd be different. You have your body, which would be the laborers, and you don't have material. That would probably be a better analogy. You don't have wood. You don't have the nails. So they're all just standing there wasting your payroll. So is it lagging? I wonder why. I'm sorry. It might be me. It could be me. I'm new here. But yeah, that could be white pine. And that's why I group everything. And you can even ask Mark. I don't know if Mark's still in here, but I am all up in your grill. I am not just worried about your workouts. I'm not just worried about your cardio. I'm not just worried about your nutrition. I'm worried about your sleep. I'm worried about your stress levels. I'm worried about what went on this week. So usually when I'm watching true crime with y'all and I'm like in and out of chat, that's because I'm messaging my clients back and forth, asking them how their day went. It's not just about, hey, did you do those sets? Like, yeah, that's a big portion of it. Hey, did you get your water in? Yeah, that's a big portion of it. Your food, big portion of it. But how their life is going, what they're dealing with at home, is the hubby cheating on them? Did someone throw a fish tank? Sorry. I'm so dead. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and then you got to think too, everyone's response to stress is different. Like, have y'all met that person? Every little thing stresses them out. Kaylin, I love you. Go like this. That's Kaylin. Every little thing stresses my little girl out. I'm trying to work with her on how to deal with stress. Everything is not the end of the world. But then take Elijah, my oldest boy, and he can hit his head against a brick wall and keep going, and nothing's a big deal. So everyone's stress levels are different. Their responses are going to be different. So, Nat, did you hear that joke? That one's for you. Well, it was for you. Anyway. Mo, don't get timed out. That's too many ha's. I love it. This is so much fun. But Yeah, pineapple. Let's RP shrimpies. I know. They didn't even survive a chance. I wonder if yeah. Anyway. Man boobs. That's what that makes me think of. Shrimp, lizards, and man boobs. And probably cooking. We'll see. Anyway. Maybe that's the end. Okay, so I did make an intro video. I'm going to try that out on the next one. You guys have to let me know what you think. It's got an intro. So I'm going to see how to put that in here. But please, if you haven't joined Discord, join Discord. Help me with topics that you want to hear about. I promise you I'll be more on point next time. And now I can schedule this ahead of time. So I couldn't schedule this stream until I was allowed to live stream 5 minutes before 4 o'clock. Like it wouldn't even let me schedule it. So I had to wait and input all that information in 5 minutes and be ready. Luckily, I had tried to do that all yesterday. And so I had most of that prepped and prepared. But this time I will have Streamlabs behaving and up and running. So we can look at some more info and not just this. You know, you can actually see informative stuff, get a visual, take screenshots so that you can look at it later. Because that's always helpful. Sometimes I know for when I'm launching my clients and kind of explaining everything, it's a lot of information. And people don't really retain as much. So it's nice to just be able to screenshot the graph so you can kind of see. But yeah, if you can join Discord, give me ideas. Otherwise, I will just keep praying and popping them on here, and hopefully it touches some chords with people and helps people. So yeah. Sound good, guys? I'm going to go hold to my babies. They are probably getting ready for bed soon. I know Micah probably is. My little boy. Maybe there's a pursuit I will see y'all on. But like, subscribe, and share right here. Turn on the alerts. Or it's up here, down there, around. Anyway. Love you guys. I will figure out how to end stream. Got it. Oh, where's my mouse? Oh, let's see if it'll do it for me. Bye.